AI. Most people use this term to refer to artificial intelligence. Although for farmers, we use this term to describe artificial insemination, which is very important for agriculture, but we're not going to cover any of that in this video today. Anyways, back to AI, or artificial intelligence. You know, like Siri. Hey Siri,
Hello there.
can you tell me a joke?
You're a joke.
AI is definitely advanced nowadays, and it is especially advanced within agriculture as well. Like, for example, do you remember that cow ear tag that I told you about in that 3 wacky websites episode that we did on the channel? That ear tag technology, that is AI, as we rely on our phones to tell us health information on each of the cows that we have on the farm. Also, do you remember that video when I drove that tractor blindfolded? Well, that technology in the GPS system is also AI. The GPS system actually relied on AI to direct the tractor to steer whichever way that we set it up for the course. All I had to do was just press one button and then the tractor would automatically steer by itself without me touching anything. Oh dear. It's really pretty crazy stuff that we have here within agriculture, based on technology and our artificial intelligence as well. And you can also check out those 2 videos. We'll provide the links to them down in the description if you want to see all that ag technology. Anyways, AI is definitely advanced within agriculture, and it still continues to get more advanced. However, today we are going to be using AI in a totally different way. Today we are actually going to go to an online image generator and use AI to generate these images and see what the system thinks the future of farming and food and agriculture looks like for us. Howdy everyone, my name is Isaac the Ag Guy, and let's see what AI is going to predict for the future of agriculture. All right, so today we are going to be using an AI image generator known as DALL-E. Kind of reminds me of like WALL-E, you know, the Disney movie. WALL-E. Anyways, we are going to be using that to predict what farming, food, and agriculture is going to look like in the future. Now, the first thing that we are going to focus on when typing in prompts for this AI and image generator to create, we're actually going to focus on the year 2050. Now, why do I specifically choose the year 2050? Well, because this is actually a big thing within the agricultural industry and just within world population as well. But anyways, it has actually been predicted, probably by AI too, but it's been predicted that in 2050 that our world population is going to increase by a lot. It's going to increase by, or I should say, it's going to increase from 7 billion people all the way up to 10 billion people. This means for the agricultural industry that we need to find ways to provide enough food and resources for everyone in 2050. So today we are going to use DALL-E to whip up some images and see what the AI predicts that agriculture is going to look like when supporting the world population in 2050. All right, so I guess the first prompt that we're gonna type here, we're gonna try and get like a very broad and general prompt first, and then kind of dwindle it down, make it more specific, to create an image for what, you know, agriculture is going to look like in 2050. So I think a very broad statement we could start out with is just farming in, actually let's do all lowercase, farming in 2050. That's pretty broad, and let's see what AI is going to generate here. Let's see what our old pal DALL-E is gonna make for us. Whoa. Okay, so here's some of the things. Some of these images are like basically blobs, like this one right here. But the one thing, actually I should say, the first thing that I noticed after typing this prompt is all the drones. Well, I don't know if that's a drone. That looks like a combine in the sky right there. But you can definitely make out that they're going for, or the AI is going for drones. So I guess what the system's predicting here is that, you know, agriculture is going to use more drones in the future, which it already is now. There are already drones being used. You know, like some drones actually spray pesticides or insecticides and stuff like that onto fields to get rid of pests and stuff like that. It's a pretty cool process. They're pretty cool drones too. But yeah, maybe that's what this is how 2050 is going to look like to support the world. We'll have more drones either like delivering food products or, still spraying stuff. Also, another cool thing that I noticed is that the city is right next to a farm, which that's one thing that we are actually trying to implement within agriculture for sustainability. Is something that I'm very interested in. But what I'm talking about is urban farming. Like rooftop farms or greenhouses right within the city. I think that's a very sustainable way. I'm sure we'll talk more about that later in this video, but it's just cool to see that maybe in the future that we'll have more urbanized farms or farms located to urban areas. So, which would definitely help for 2050. We need more land to grow food, and if we utilize some abandoned areas within the city and turn those into farms to produce food for those communities in the city, then yeah, I think that would be a great step to providing all this food and resources to everyone in the year 2050, or just basically the growing population in 2050. Anyways, that's cool. So basically what you can get from this is drones are a big thing. That the AI is going to say, yeah, we need more drones. All right, my next prompt, though, we're going to get more specific here. We just did farming in 2050. Now, let's actually see what food and agriculture is going to look like in 2050. A little more specific. I'm curious to see how the AI is going to interpret food and agriculture, and also the word or the year 2050. Also, I forgot to mention, too, I think AI is going to predict aliens are going to be in the future, because I have no idea what that writing is right there. Anyways, let's generate this. Whoa, it's basically looks like infographics that it just generated. I have no idea what AI is trying to tell me here. Is that college, I think? Husband? Fraudstolog? No clue what this is trying to tell me. But I guess what I noticed is like the same thing before, farm located near the city. I don't know. The AI just kind of threw this together in like massive blobs. Kind of looks like what I would create in like second grade or something like that. Just kind of throw a whole bunch of together and be like, yeah, look at what I created for my science project or something like that. But yeah, basically what I'm seeing here is like that kind of looks like a windmill that just AI threw in there. But again, you notice with the city close to the farm, so I guess AI is really predicting urban farms in the future. All right, well, that wasn't really that helpful. Just basically it kind of took a bunch of second grade science posters and said this is what 2050 is. But I guess we need to be a little more specific with that. So let's actually include the number of people in 2050. Farmers feeding 10 billion people in 2050. Let's see what AI thinks about this.
Hello?
What's up, man? Oh my lord, that is horrifying. That is not a normal human face. AI just kind of threw that one together, but what is going on here? The only one here that kind of predicts 2050 is this photo here. I see some technological stuff. No idea what that is. Looks like some kind of satellite tower. Maybe it's communicating to this Dragonfly drone, so I guess like droning still. Or maybe this is just kind of predicting that, in 2050, we need farmers all around the world to provide either food for themselves or just have a lot of land to grow food. I don't know, because this really looks like today farming. Or maybe that's what also, this AI image generator is trying to tell us, is that maybe farming in 2050 is not going to look that different. But I mean, I hope it kind of looks different in a positive way, because we need to continue to grow and expand and adapt and evolve. But maybe just the system's like, nah, that ain't going to happen, fam. But I don't know. So that's interesting. But yeah, this is not a face. Definitely not a normal face. So AI, you need to touch that one up a little bit, please, before you give me nightmares. Also, I think what AI did in this one, it really focused on the farmer prompt that I type in there. So I wonder if like they're just like, ooh, farmers, throw it together, farmers, and that's it. So let's get a little more specific with that. Let's just do farming as a general term. So farming in the year 2052. I want to see what it does with the word support. It's an interesting verb. I want to see how AI responds to that. To support 10 billion people in the world. So I want to see, because this is as specific we can get. Specific as the Pacific. Oh, whoa. Is that an old man's face on a woman's body? Weird. Oh, I didn't even see that one. That's like a meme face right there. That's terrifying. That's nightmare fuel right there. What is he even grabbing? There's nothing there, man. Okay, well, interesting. Very interesting. So AI is trying to put together a greenhouse here. So probably, you know, I guess more urban. I don't see any cities though, so maybe this just is a greenhouse out in the open, but I have no idea. This looks like an infographic with just alien language. Maybe AI is predicting that. I got it. That we see all this alien language. I got it now. So maybe AI is trying to predict that the aliens are going to come down from above in 2050 and give us this information on how to farm better. And we don't understand this now, but we will when it gets to 2050. Maybe that's what it's telling us. I don't know. I guess we'll find out for sure though. Yeah, that's basically all I can get from this one being that specific. It honestly looks like the more specific you get, the more unclear these images are. That's what it seems like to me. Anyways, let's move on to our next topic. All right, so we got some predictions on what farming is going to look like in the year 2050. But you know, why stop there? What if we ask our old pal here, DALL-E, to whip up some more spicy images on what the future of farming is going to look like way past the year 2050. I'm curious to see what this AI is going to come up with. All right, futuristic farming. That's pretty broad. Whoa. That is sick. This is pretty cool though. For some of it, I have no idea what the AI is trying to make out. But it looks cool. All right, so the first thing I noticed is all the robots, robot. And it looks like they're doing the farming work or all the field work. I think that robot's growing a car battery. Just gonna put that out there. But I think he's growing it. So maybe that, you know, DALL-E's saying, hey, you can grow car batteries in the future. Cool. But other than that, it looks like just or lettuce patches. Not lettuce. Lettuce is cabbage. Stupid me. But yeah, it looks like, you know, they're growing cabbage, growing some kind of, I don't know, weird future plant. It looks like here. Okay, I got to get organized here. There's so much thrown at me. Let's start with the first image though. To me, I mean, I have no idea what that is, but what it looks like, this robot, it just sucks up, I don't know, water from the ground, from these tubes down there, and probably, you know, generates a little soil patch up here, and that's a banana tree. Maybe not a banana tree, but it's some kind of tree. So maybe these giant giant things are just gonna, you know, walk around to each land, because those got to be legs, you know. They just walk around to a plot, stop, suck all the water and nutrients up into their little soil plots up top, and tree. And then, you know, they'll walk to different cities, like, you know, they'll bring the farmer market to you. I could just be, you know, spewing things out of my but that's all right. The next one looks like it's basically like a storage kind of facility robot kind of thing. Maybe it just picks it up and stores them in there. That's what I guess, because I see plants and stuff in there. This one, that's just one giant mecha dude just taking the role of the farmer. He's like, yeah, I'm gonna do this today. So that's what I got there. This one looks like something from Star Wars, those drones, you know, like they just do all the work, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, basically what AI is trying to tell us here is that, yeah, AI is going to take over the future and just control all these robots and, you know, farm for us, which would be pretty cool. Okay, so we got futuristic farming here. We're just going to add a little bit more to that to make it a little more specific. In the year 2300. Don't ask me why I picked 2300 because I don't have a response for that. I just figured that's pretty well into the future at this point. So let's go with it. All right, here we go. Whoa, more robots. I think it's just the same thing. Yeah, that maybe it's more robots in the future. Because I think we talk about it so much too, that and throw everything online that AI's like, oh, relates future to robots. So maybe that's why these images are coming up really well, or why AI is picking these images, or creating these images, I should say, throwing everything together just to say, you know, future equals robots, farming equals like some kind of leafy green in the ground, you know, and that's how they predict this. This one, I don't know, kind of looks like it's from Star Wars, like, you know, stormtroopers, but I believe these are actually people. It looks like people, except those heads are misshapen, so maybe we get some genetics where we get, you know, triangle candy corn shaped heads. But anyways, yeah, it looks like a person wearing a bodysuit with just high-tech armor, like beep, 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 beep. Anyways, yeah, looks like we have our little, you know, notepad that has absolutely nothing going on. And yeah, we just farming in the middle of the desert. So I guess maybe we'll figure out a way to do that in the year 2300 is how to farm in like the Sahara Desert or something like that. Basically, again, I guess AI saying, you know, the year 2300, still robots, and that's basically the future. So let's try and see if they're going to change it up. When we change up our little prompt here, it'll be kind of the same but also different. Futuristic agriculture. I want to see how it takes future and agriculture, and if it's just going to do the same thing or if it's going to be different. Futuristic agriculture and food production in the year 2300, and we're going to use the same year and see what happens there. Futuristic agriculture and food production in the year 2300. Looks good. Let's generate. Whoa. This photo right here is absolutely wild. We got the Super Bowl logo in the background with 2020. We don't want to go back to that year, folks. And it looks like we have giant blue whales just diving through this field with just a random dude standing right there thinking that this is totally okay. I am so confused at that image. This one is the most clear out of all of them, but again, it just takes robots, utopia, and fields with irrigation. That's one thing that we haven't noticed yet, the irrigation going down the fields. So my analysis for these images that popped up are, I have no idea, but I guess I could say is just robots. Robots still popping up. Actually, this photo looks like a meme, the Describe 2020 with like the dark, you know, shaded with gray, the dystopian looking 2020. That could be a meme. That's memeable right there. All right, let's get more specific and see what's going to happen here. And let's do farming and agriculture and food production before the spelled that wrong. Production before the end of the world. So what we're going to do here, I want to see how the AI determines what the end of the world's going to look like, but more specifically, what the heck farming is going to look like before the world ends. So let's see what AI predicts here, or generates and predicts through it. That looks like today. I'm a little concerned about these images here, because if it's predicting that the end of the world is today, I'm a little terrified. But yeah, I mean, the only one right here could be like, this one looks like a little desolate, you know, farmland, which could make sense if that's becoming the end of the world, because everything will just be desolate and nasty and moldy. Kind of looks like The Last of Us mold all through there. Ooh, you know what? You know what just popped in my head? maybe like, you know, before the end of the world, we get so advanced in technology, but then technology kind of gets way out of hand. So we just go back to the basic agriculture, you know, like plowing by hand and stuff like that. Maybe that's what it's going to look like for the end of the world, or AI is trying to tell us that, yeah, maybe we shouldn't get too far with technology because then technology will overthrow us and then we got to go back to hand. Then when we go back to hand, technology will still try to conquer us, you know, and eventually will, and that's the end of the world. That's that's what I'm thinking here, but I don't know. Still it's still a little sus that, you know, these just look like today images, and I said end of the world. Weird, but anyways, that's all we got for futuristic farming. Let's go to one more topic here to explore. All right, so the final topic that we are going to have DALL-E create or predict for us in the future and for us to check out as well and explore is about the future of sustainable agriculture. But before I get any further with this, you're probably asking, what is sustainable agriculture? Well, basically, sustainability means leaving everything better for the next generation in the future. And when you apply this term or this topic to agriculture, it pretty much just means the same thing. So basically, how do we leave agriculture better for the next generation in the future? So like, how do we make farming better? Or how do we provide enough food to everyone in the future? Or how do we provide, you know, a great environment for everyone to live in for the next generation? Currently, farmers are practicing sustainability to find more ways to produce food more efficiently and while causing the least amount of damage to our environment. And in fact, an example of sustainability is actually using methane digesters on a dairy farm. Dairy farmers are actually using methane digesters to recycle cow manure into electricity or into fuel for motor vehicles. This is great because dairy farmers can still continue to produce milk and milk products for consumers while also reducing methane emissions into the atmosphere. And as a plus too, it will also create more energy for people to use as well. Anyways, since sustainable agriculture relates to future stuff, we're gonna check out and see what DALL-E thinks sustainable agriculture is gonna look like in the future. All right, so the first thing we're gonna type here into DALL-E is basically just a very broad thing, just sustainable agriculture. And let's see what DALL-E thinks. Well, what I see here is just mostly agriculture. Not really any sustainable things going into it. I think basically it just related that, you know, sustainable means green, agriculture, green. Other than that, for sustainable, I don't really see, you know, sustainable technology being implemented in these images. It's mostly just agriculture, which is okay. I mean, this is a type of sustainable agriculture as well. I mean, you can see here, like, it looks like this guy might be planting into the ground. I don't know, with hand, which that's sustainable. That can be sustainable. More than that, you don't really see any sustainable stuff going on. You just see like fields of agriculture. So let's get a little more specific then. Let's do and farming in the year 2050. Interesting. Why does it use the year 22 in this? Honestly, what this looks like, it just looks like a meme or whatever, like a post or something like that. That cow is really twisting its neck there. Okay, so one thing I noticed here though, this image specifically is definitely the good prediction. Minus the 2021. I mean, there's an Earth and Wi-Fi, but anyways, it looks like farm next to a city, which that's going to bring up the idea again about urban agriculture. Like I mentioned earlier in this video, urban agriculture is definitely very sustainable, and I think it's a very, very cool idea just to have agriculture within urban areas. I mean, it's just awesome that, you know, like we can take abandoned land within city or just land that is, you know, unused within city and just turn that into a very purposeful thing for communities within urban areas. You know, we actually are creating food and just resources that everyone needs that are directly in places where, you know, there's large populations. It's just really cool because we need more land to produce enough food to provide for everyone in the future. And I think if we use all the land we can get in cities, we can definitely strive toward this goal, you know, of making agriculture better or giving enough food to everyone within the next generation. And it's just awesome that we can do that nowadays too, because everyone, you know, we used to think that farming has to be out in the open. It has to be in the countryside. And that there's no way that it can actually be in urban areas. But now that we have so much technology and we continue to have all this technology, that this can actually be possible, that we can actually bring the farm right to the city, right to where everyone's at. And it's just so cool. Like, you know, we have greenhouses popping up in cities just to support local communities, rooftop farming pretty much. And then one cool thing that would be awesome to bring over the United States is definitely like the floating farm. I am definitely a huge supporter of that idea. If you haven't heard about the floating farm, it's actually an actual farm in the Netherlands, or just like a dairy farm just floats right on water, right in the harbor of a city over in the Netherlands. I think it's Rotterdam if I'm correct, but I can provide the link to that article down in the description of this video so that you can learn more about the floating farm. But it's so cool because you know, someone actually found a way to bring an actual dairy farm right to the city, basically to provide so many more, you know, dairy products to people in that community, or just show people in the city that, yeah, this is what farming is all about. And it's just a really awesome idea. But again, I'll provide a link to that down in the description. But hopefully, you know, one day we can get urban agriculture, or just more different ways of urban agriculture into cities all around the world, because it's very sustainable. But anyways, that's my end of my little spiel about urban agriculture. Definitely really cool. But let's do another topic here. So we're gonna go further with sustainable agriculture and farming. But we're gonna go to 2300. I think again, it's just going with the infographics. It looks like creating this, but not really a whole lot that I can, you know, analyze here. Honestly, just kind of looks like normal farms. Again, could be that, you know, sustainable agriculture is just going to be a normal farm in the future instead of like getting so technological. Maybe we should just stick with the simple ways to be, you know, sustainable ag. Maybe that's what Dolly's trying to tell us here. Could be. I mean, that's all. It just looks like simple farming. Instead of doing that, we're going to do sustainable food systems instead. It's probably just going to give us another infographic, but that's all right. We'll analyze the background at least. Farming in the future. So this is kind of broadish, but also kind of specific with the food systems, and we're not limiting it to a year. Let's just see what they're gonna, you know, Dolly's gonna think about future. So let's create our wonderful spicy image here. Yeah, just more infographics it looks like. Which, I mean, yeah, if you see a sustainable agriculture infographic, again, it's, you know, hexagons and circles and cool technological stuff because it's future. Yeah, that's pretty much it right there. But again, it could be same thing, you know, maybe the future of sustainable farming is just stick with the simple stuff. Don't get too technological. I don't know though. Well, I think I just created a monster. None of these are me. Look at this dude with the glasses. This kind of looks like my body shape. Maybe the face. Oh, I think I see it. He's kind of older looking, but I think it's trying to blend my face. Weird. Yeah, just the glasses. What is going on with your hand there? Ew. Gross. Yep, there's Tess. I really could not tell the difference between Tess the agriculturalist and this other Tess the agriculturalist in this image. It's like picture perfect. If you put them up next to each other, I couldn't tell you the difference really. There's Tess doing her Tess Tells All vlog with a giant mass robot that looks like it's about to go, you know, destroy a city or something. What's up, you guys? I'm Tess the agriculturalist, and today in this Tess Tells All, we're going to be hanging out with this murder robot and harvesting some harvesting some wheat. Well, there you have it. And that's what DALL-E predicts the future of agriculture is going to look like. Now, obviously, these may not be accurate predictions just because, you know, AI image generators, they just take all the photos that relate to a certain word or all the data that relate to a certain word and just, you know, throw it all together into these like blobbish images pretty much. Basically, like some of the things that we see, you know, with future, it sometimes predicts that, or I shouldn't say predict, sometimes, you know, relates photos that have robots or like machines in it to, you know, future, and they'll throw images that have a bunch of robots in it. Or like we see with ag too, if you say agriculture, it thinks like green or leafy plants, and it'll throw all that into an image as well. Yeah, basically DALL-E, it just takes all the, you know, people's thoughts, creations, opinions on certain things, or just like information stuff, just stuff that's already on the internet, and just mashes it all together into these weird, sometimes disturbing photos. It actually might use some studies and stats too, but I don't know. From what we saw today, I don't think there's any stats or studies involved with any of these images, if I'm being honest. But yeah, basically what I'm trying to say is just don't take these images too seriously. They're just like randomly generated images. And also this video is it's just a fun video just to see what AI thinks is gonna, you know, the future is gonna look like, and it's just a curious, fun little experiment pretty much. Anyways, thank you for watching this video. If you like this video, please feel free to give it a big thumbs up. If you enjoy the content on this channel, please feel free to subscribe to Agaholics and ring the bell for notifications on when new videos will be posted on the channel. Thanks again for watching, and stay safe out there, y'all.